Hey, this is Justin Schlegel from the 98 Rock Morning Show in Baltimore, and you're listening to the Hoppy and Super Rich Show.
I'm Ryan Stuprich. I'm going to be going solo for a little bit here. So let's get to our first story here, which is about Ray Rice. Rutgers scrubs Ray Rice from everything, and that would be at Rutgers University, of course, from everything but the record book. So, Rutgers University is scrubbing references to Ray Rice from its football program, but the Scarlet Knights can't kick the disgraced former NFL running back out of the record books. Mentions of Rice, who remains the school's all-time leading rusher with just under 5,000 yards, despite playing only 3 seasons, will be removed from a Knights in the NFL video montage played between the first and second quarters of home games at High Point Solution Stadium. That would be where Rutgers plays, I assume. And here's a quote from somebody who works at Rutgers University. He won't be celebrated or promoted going forward, obviously. And that would be Tom Lucy from Rutgers University. He declined to speculate on what could occur should Rice re-sign with another team. All signage in and around the stadium with his likeness will also be completely gone by Thursday. He won't be celebrated or promoted going forward. Rice, who left the university following the 2007 season, will remain listed as the Scarlet Knights' all-time rusher. Rice was cut by the Ravens on Monday following the release of video of the assault inside the now-shuttered Revel Casino in February. And, of course, you all have seen that awful video. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie told reporters at an unrelated news conference in Atlantic City that the former Rutgers star showed an incomprehensible level of violence toward his fiancée at the time, Janae Palmer, now his wife. I'm not going to go too much into this, obviously, because you all pretty much know what happens. Rutgers football coach Kyle Flood, meanwhile, has said Rice will always be a part of the university's family. Family is family, but at Rutgers we hold ourselves to an extremely high standard, and we expect a lot out of our players, and we expect a lot out of the coaches and the staff that we have here. We expect a lot out of our alumni, Flood said earlier this week. I think because of those expectations, this is a sad day. Ray will always be part of the family. The video I saw this morning was difficult to watch as a husband, and as nothing that could justify what I saw on the video. This is a sad day for Ray and a sad day for Rutgers. And, of course, Rutgers University themselves is not immune to controversy, as they had that issue with that college basketball coach who would yell at the students, throw basketballs at them and all that. So, I mean, Rutgers maybe isn't the best place to go if you're trying to go somewhere, right? Rice was a second-round draft pick in 2008 draft after a junior season in which he finished 7th in voting for the Heisman Trophy. I did not know that. The annual award given to college football's best player. So that's a little bit about Ray Rice, of course. We hope that he gets, he gets what's coming to him. Will he play in the NFL again? Possibly. I wouldn't count on it, especially not for a long time. You have to see what the legal process has and what he has in store for that, but obviously just a bad thing. And when Ryan gets back, we're going to talk more about Roger Goodell, the controversial NFL commissioner now. I never thought I'd see the day where the NFL commissioner would be more hated than the NHL commissioner, Gary Bettman, but it looks like that might be coming to fruition. Sticking with sports-related stories, a judge has said that Oscar Pistorius, that guy who killed his wife, he's paraplegic, but he's also an Olympian. I believe he's an Olympian runner. He was negligent, but Steenkamp's killing was not a murder. So this is a story from CNN, and it comes out of South Africa, which, of course, that's where he's from. The night he killed Riva Steenkamp, Oscar Pistorius did not commit murder, the judge at his trial said Thursday. That's a little interesting, because we always heard that it was murder, and he did not intend to kill her, the judge states. But his conduct was negligent, she said, before adjourning before the day, suggesting she will find the Olympian guilty of culpable homicide. So either way, homicide, pretty much murder, right? There is no minimum sentence for culpable homicide in South African law. It's up to the judge to decide. So that would be because of all that stuff that's going on. As he fired 4 bullets into the bathroom of his home in Pretoria on Valentine's Day last year, he did not foresee the possibility that he would kill the person behind the door, let alone the deceased. Because Oscar Pistorius, throughout this whole trial and everything, has claimed that he did not know that it was his wife he was shooting. He thought it was an intruder or something, which In my personal opinion, that's hard to believe, but I guess it's more believable than I think. As he thought she was in the bathroom at the time, and so evidence suggests Pistorius genuinely believed the person in the bathroom was an intruder, although that is relevant to the case. Pistorius could have taken other actions when he thought there was an intruder. All the accused had to do was pick up his cell phone and call security or the police, which he didn't do. He took matters into his own hands. Why he had a gun in the first place with him, I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see as well. Following the country's legal standard for determining homicide, they found that a reasonable person would have foreseen the reasonable possibility that whoever was in the bathroom might have been killed and would have taken steps to guard against that possibility. I agree with that. The Olympian's trial in the death of his model and law graduate girlfriend started 6 months ago, transfixing the world with graphic details of how he fatally shot her. However, the intention to shoot does not necessarily mean the intent to kill. That's what the judge has stated. So yeah, they're going to go through some more trials and stuff like that. But I mean, this is another bad story with sports people. The maximum penalty for each charge that he's charged with, because he's charged with other charges, just not actual murder or intent to kill. The maximum penalty for each charge is 5 years behind bars. If he is convicted of either, he could face a lesser sentence, such as a fine or the loss of his gun license. I think a loss of the gun license would probably be a good thing. Wouldn't you agree with that? Let's see here. Here's one more story before we go to break. Olive Garden offers a $100 VIP pass for 49 days of unlimited pasta. This is quite something. On Monday, Olive Garden announced plans for its first ever never-ending pasta pass, which for $100 gives the holder the right to consume all of the pasta, salad, bread, and Coca-Cola brand soft drinks that they can stuff down for 7 weeks. This is interesting. They should have done this during the winter when it's hibernating season, right? And then you could have just eaten all the stuff you wanted and then slept for a couple months, right? Olive Garden says 1,000 VIP never-ending pasta passes sold out in 45 minutes. Jeez. People are really desperate for this. Jeez. Never fear, its social media team will be doing giveaways up to the start of the annual Never Ending Pasta Bowl promotion on September 22nd. I will not be participating in this. There's a lot better food than going to Olive Garden and getting a never-ending pasta pass. Jeez. The PR stunt piggybacks with the chain's annual Never Eating Pasta Bowl promo is September 22nd through November 9th, which lets folks eat all the pasta they want for $9.99. Turning into a buffet there at Olive Garden, I guess. I don't know. I've never been a big Olive Garden fan, but, people do what they're going to do. Okay, we're going to take a break, and then coming up, there's a couple other stories, like some controversial statue in Vancouver of a Satan doing kind of an inappropriate gesture. A petition is going to demand the return of bringing that back. So I guess it was taken down. They're going to bring it back. And then also, did you know that that there are about 1,550 fans a year in baseball being injured by foul balls? That's kind of interesting, too. So we'll be right back on the Hoppy and Super Rich Show. Ryan should be back shortly.
The Hoppy and Super Rich Show.
Before we get into anything, find out about upcoming events, and you can do this by going to the edgeonair.com/events concerts. Also found under the events concerts tab on the homepage. The homepage will be the edgeonair.com. You can find out more about upcoming events, concerts, station events, and more. So make sure you do that. All right. So here's a story, and it's kind of caught my eye. A foul ball injures about 1,750 fans a year at baseball games, which is kind of interesting. So about 1,750 spectators get hurt each year by batted balls, mostly foul balls, at Major League games, or at least twice every 3 games. So a first-of-its-kind analysis by Bloomberg News has found that information. That's more often than a batter is hit by a pitch, which happened 1,336 times last season, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. And so, unlike the National Hockey League, which mandated netting behind the goal line and higher plexiglass above the sideboards after a teenage fan was hit by a puck and died in 2002, Major League Baseball has done little to reduce its risk. Its policy is that each team is responsible for spectator safety, although you can't just have a net go all the way around the field. I mean, it goes from home plate to the dugouts pretty much on either side. So I don't really know what's going to come of that, but that's going to be interesting to see what happens. While Major League Baseball is very concerned with fan safety, there is no epidemic of foul ball damage yet that would warrant some sort of action by the commissioner's office, said John McHale, the MLB executive vice president who oversees ballpark security. The foul ball at once both a byproduct of live play and a souvenir is the stuff of baseball fans' fantasy and nightmare. To the delight of devotees, about 53,000 of the 73,000 fouls hit each season enter the seats. So, yeah, because, of course, if it bounces off the field into the seats, that would still be in the seats. A website that analyzes the most likely location in each ballpark for them to land. Many spectators greet them eagerly, lunging or racing for foul balls. Others want to avoid them but can't react in time. So there's also been a lot of child victims. Of course, that's not good, as you can't really, pay attention. So let's see. A 6-year-old girl was hit by a foul ball at a Braves game. A 7-year-old in Chicago sustained severe brain swelling from a foul liner in 2008. I think that was off of Derek Lee's bat. I kind of remember that game. Or was it off of his bat or like Rich Hill's bat or something? I think it was a pitcher that was actually hitting at the time. Fowles sent an 18-month-year-old to a hospital in Seattle, and then also someone in New York. So that's not good. So expanded netting is a possibility for something. Foul ball injuries are becoming more severe because new or renovated ballparks feature seats closer to the field. Players are stronger, and fans are distracted by loud music, scoreboard, pyrotechnics, and whatnot. Judges hearing lawsuits brought by injured spectators are taking note. Appeal courts in Georgia and Idaho and all that. Braves manager Freddie Gonzalez advises his wife to sit behind the home plate netting or way up in the stands. So I don't know about that. I mean, that's not going to change my opinion. I'm just going to be more careful, if I'm at a ball game and I'm not covered by a net or up in the upper deck or something. I would just be more careful. And, you put your hands up in front of your face. That's sort of what I would do if I was in the situation. You just got to be careful. Always pay attention when the person's batting, which you should be anyway. If you're a fan of the team, you should be paying attention to the team. There's also stray balls, and in batting practice, that's a little different because the ball doesn't hit as hard. But in batting practice, obviously, if you're in the outfield, you're going to want to be more careful because they have a backstop in front of them when they're doing batting practice, so it's not going to go into the stands, but it'll go into the outfield if they hit a home run. Obviously, the teams are responsible for this, but there hasn't been any really rule yet. There's been a lot of close calls, though, of course. And also some lawsuits with it. I won't get into that, but yeah. So here's a story. I believe this is in Pennsylvania somewhere. Teens caught throwing items onto I-81. So, apparently this has happened more than a few times. So the teens in Pennsylvania, troublemakers. It has happened again. Kids were caught throwing stuff off of bridges that go over a busy interstate. Back in July, a woman was seriously hurt when it happened on Interstate 80 in Union County. This time it happened on I-81 in Susquehanna and Lackawanna counties. Say that 3 times fast. Traffic on Interstate 81 has smooth sailing again, but overnight the highway between northern Lackawanna County and southern Susquehanna County was littered for miles with broken down vehicles. 3 teens threw all sorts of stuff onto the highway, including fire extinguishers, rocks, wood, even metal railings from an overpass, according to state police. I don't know why someone would do this. This is horrible. Said more than 2 dozen vehicles hit the debris. Many had blown out tires and damage. Of course, if you go over a damn fire extinguisher, you're going to blow a tire. And damage under the hood, like 2 still parked at a tow yard just off I-81. Police nabbed the teens at a bridge, and troopers said the trio will face charges in juvenile court, of course. I mean, why can't we charge them in normal court? I mean, this is a pretty serious thing. You don't throw stuff onto the expressway when cars are going 70 miles an hour down the expressway, and especially if this wasn't in a populated area, the speed limit could very well have been 70, and they could have been going 80 or 85. Someone could have got seriously hurt. And, of course, there was a lot of damage to the cars. Prosecutors said the spree started north in the Lenox area and went south, lasting 4 hours. So they did this for 4 hours. They got nothing better to do, so they did it for 4 hours. And now the tens of thousands of dollars in damage has been done. So here's a quote. "I feel like you don't resort to that unless there's something troubling going on in your life. I kind of hope someone can reach out to them and others like them can prevent this from happening again. In a case such as this, a judge can make the juveniles and or their parents pay restitution," said prosecutors. So that's nice. Now their parents have to pay for the damage they caused. "Anyone who may have had their vehicle damaged can call the state police and do that," but none of you listening probably live in Pennsylvania. Maybe you do, and you're not, and you're listening to the show. In which case, let me know by calling 630-785-2510, 630-785-2510. Okay, so here's kind of a very odd story. It's odd because it's in Canada, right? Petition demands return of a Satan statue to Vancouver. So there's a statue of Satan, and he's got his fingers up, and he's touching a graphic area of his body. But they want this back. So the people of Vancouver like this statue. I don't know. I feel like it would kind of make me mad as I drove by it, but you never know. Maybe it's in a park or something with all the little kids. First, there was a dude chilling park sign. Now there's a statue of Satan grabbing his privates while giving the demon's horn salute. Commuters in Vancouver yesterday were greeted with the sight of a large red Satan flashing the salute as the statue mysteriously appeared in a park, so it wasn't a park, near Grandview Highway. The statue was visible to commuters nearby who may not have noticed because they were thanking God for the fact that the SkyTrain had miraculously not broken down. Yeah, that's the problem they've had in Vancouver. The stunt was reminiscent of the recent dude-chilling park sign that appeared in Vancouver's Gullif Park. Officials removed the sign, but it proved to be so popular that the city eventually relented and allowed a permanent sign to be installed in the park. The city of Vancouver removed the offending Satan from the garden, stating it was not officially commissioned. However, the statue already has a cult following, as of course it probably would. Apparently, a number of people have expressed interest in acquiring the devil statue for themselves. I don't know why. I mean, that would scare the hell out of me if I was in my room and I had that statue there. I mean, first of all, it's a devil. Second of all, it's doing a vulgar act. However, so apparently a number of people have expressed interest. You have to admit it would be a great conversation piece at parties. That's true. Who wrote this? That's true, Mr. Peter Derbyshire from Canada. So there are a number of people who want the statue returned to its spot in the park. So, it'll probably return if they sign a petition and blah, blah, blah. Now a petition is circulating online at change.org, so go ahead and sign that, people, to bring the giant Satan statue back to the spot it was originally spawned. It's already been signed by more than 300 people, although it's unclear how much power their signatures will have, given they didn't sign in blood. Oh, this guy's a wise guy. The petition even references that dude-chilling park sign as a precedence for the return of the Satan statue, saying just like the beloved dude-chilling park sign that was installed and later allowed due public pressure and support, the giant statue should be reinstalled as a piece of public art and serve as a reminder that art is in the eye of the beholder and nothing more. So they do it. So once the petition reaches 666 signatures, of course, because it's a devil, then it will come back, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if it came back, actually, although I wouldn't want to see it. So we'll be right back on the Hoppy and Stuprich show. We'll play some more music for you, and maybe Ryan Hoppy will finally come back. He left, or he brought his mother's keys with him in the car, even though I picked him up. He forgot to put his keys back, and his mom had to go somewhere. So he had to drive back home real quick and give his mom his keys. So that's why he's not here. But yeah, we'll be back in a second.
The Hoppy and Stuprich Show.